Yo, good evening, USA, Canada, worldwide, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. Welcome, everybody, to the 72nd episode of Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, the review show. Live and direct from StreamYard, YouTube, alongside with myself is the Instagram live feed of the podcast show page on Instagram. Make sure you turn on your notifications and make sure you follow the show on Instagram as well. So, and and also, if you are new to the channel and you miss any new and previous episodes whatsoever, please feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast YouTube channel page. Tap that noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. And of course, leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics that's being discussed. And of course, more video content, upcoming episodes, and previous episodes. And make sure you catch up on all the episodes that's on the YouTube channel page so you don't miss a beat on the next new episode that's going to be uploaded to the YouTube channel page and streaming platforms on the go. Now the episode schedule is Tuesdays and Saturdays. I'm thinking about adding another day. I'm not too sure if I'm going to add another day. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll figure it out though. And I will go over the audio streaming platforms where you can listen to the episodes on every streaming platforms. Make sure you follow those. Make sure you follow the podcast on every streaming platform that I will mention at the end of the show, right? And if you'd like to make a charitable donation to support the show, please feel free to donate to my Cashapp, which is G Money Stacks 555 $ capital G lowercase MONEY capital S lowercase TACKZ 555. Once again, it's not about breaking the bank. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you decide to donate will be appreciated. So there you go, right there. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Drake's latest album, alongside with some other stories to review. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of music Kool-Aid for a bit right there, man. So for those of you who's new, don't know what music Kool-Aid is, it's basically a segment where I actually review singers, rappers who have albums and discography. So that's pretty much what that is right there. So this is music Kool-Aid. So grab your drinks, your water, your Gatorades, and all that other good stuff, because this is the segment right here, music Kool-Aid. Okay, so we're gonna be reviewing Drake's latest album called Honestly Nevermind. Okay. Honestly Nevermind is the seventh studio album by Canadian rapper and singer Drake, which was released on June 17th, 2022 through OVO Sound and Republic Records. The album includes a sole guest feature from 21 Savage and production from a variety of producers, including Gordo, Black Coffee. Oh, shit. Oh, man, Black Coffee. That's crazy. That's a crazy ass name, man, for a music artist right there. That's a crazy ass name if you really think about it, though. Anyway, and 40. Okay, so The two singles is called Sticky and Massive. A stylistic departure from Drake's previous releases, Honestly Nevermind adopts House and Baltimore Club. The album received generally positive reviews and debuted atop the US Billboard 200 with 204,000 album equivalent units. It became Drake's 11th US number one album and broke several streaming records for a dance album. Its single its single Sticky and Massive debuted within the top 20 in the US Billboard Hot 100, while Jimmy Cook's became Drake's 11th and 21 Savage's second US number one song. Let's see. Let's see. On March 4th, 2021, Drake announced the launch of satellite radio channel Sound 42 on Sirius XM with OVO Sound Radio as its flagship program, marking the show's return since it aired between July 2015 and October 2018 on streaming service Apple Music. Following the show's broadcast, he released his fourth extended play, Scary Hours 2 at midnight. Drake also revealed that his sixth studio album, Certified Lover Boy, would be coming soon, which was eventually released on September 3rd. On the afternoon of June 16th, 2022, OVO Sound announced on Twitter that Drake would be premiering his own radio show, Table for One, on Sound 42 later that night at 11 p.m. Eastern. A few hours later, Drake made a surprise announcement on Instagram that he would be releasing his seventh studio album, Honestly Nevermind, later that midnight, broadcasting not long after Game 6 of the 2022 NBA Finals earlier that night. Drake premiered the tracks Confusion and I Don't Care on the show. Drake also revealed during the show that he was working on Scary Hours 3. The album is dedicated to American fashion designer Virgil Abloh, who died in 2021. A music video for Falling Back was released alongside the album, directed by director X. The official music video sees Drake marrying 23 women. Wait, 23 women? Whoa. 23 different women. Okay, listen. I know this is not for real because this is part of a music video. I know everybody's gonna be alarmed about all this shit, but it was part of a music video that was happening and whatnot. And I guess it's pertaining to Tristan Thompson. You know what I'm saying? That shit was so fucking crazy. When I first heard this shit, I was like, wait a minute. You got to be fucking kidding me. How the hell you marrying 23 women? Oops. That's crazy, man. Yeah. Anyway, Canadian American professional basketball player Tristan Thompson makes an appearance as his best man. The album's only feature, 21 Savage, appears on the closing track of the album, Jimmy Cooks. The album's first two singles, Sticky and Massive, were sent to Rhythmic, Contemporary Radio, and Contemporary Hit Radio, respectively, on June 21st. Okay, so composition. Yeah. So composition is Honestly Nevermind is a dance record driven by house and Baltimore club influences. The album includes elements of Jersey club, hard techno, R&B, and my piano ballroom, and Drake's traditional style of hip hop. Now we go to the critical reception. So professional ratings, aggregate scores. Any decent music gives it 6.7 out of 10. Metacritic gives it 73 out of 100. All Music gives it 4 stars. Clash gives it 7 out of 10. Entertainment Weekly gives it B minus. Evening Standards 2 stars. Exclaim gives it 7 out of 10. The Guardian gives it 3 stars. Hip Hop DX gives it 3.9 out of 5. NME gives it 3 stars. Pitchfork gives it 6.6 out of 10. And Rolling Stone gives it 4 stars. Honestly, Nevermind was met with generally positive reviews. At Metacritic, which assigns a normalized rating out of 102 reviews from professional publications, the album received an average score of 73 based on 14 reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. Aggregator Any Decent Music gave it 6.7 out of 10 based on their assessment of the critical consensus. In a positive review, Robin Murray of Clash called Honestly Nevermind a puzzle that would take a long time to fully unlock and a devastating about turn that will fascinate and frustrate in equal measure. Tim Sendra from All Music enjoyed the album, saying, Honestly Nevermind is a welcome development in the Drake saga, a left turn off what was starting to seem like an endless stretch of trap heavy highway. The destination is still sad and self involved, but at least the scenery is colorful and never boring. The New York Times, John Caramanica wrote, in quote, a small marvel of bodily exuberance, appealingly weightless, escapist, and zealously free. An album of interesting club music. It's a pointed evolution toward a new era for one of music's most influential stars. It is also a Drake album made up almost wholly of the parts of Drake albums that sent hip hop purists into conniptions. Writing for Rolling Stone, Jeff um, Aheza stated, in quote, the album achieves something mischievously unguarded, a collection of blissful dance tunes constructed for embrace and abandon. Drake takes a leap further into uncharted realms than any of his peers, offering a refreshing sign of what's to come. Vivian um, Medif um, Medici of Hip Hop DX said he stopped making the Drake album we want him to make and made the Drake album Drake wants to make. Locked in with producers he trusts and letting his guard down. He sounds more focused and balanced than he was in years. Variety critic Alex Swear said, as a standalone Drake album, it's deeply refreshing and a dose of vibrant pop likely to reverberate through the remainder of the summer. Louis Pavlakos of Exclaim said, hints of the album's atypically, hold on, typic, a typicality are apparent from its opening minutes, for better or worse. Falling Back makes for a questionable lead off, as Drake's falsetto has never been particularly strong, but honestly, Nevermind rarely falters from there. In a lukewarm review, Pitchfork's Alphonse Pierre wrote, a breezy Drake dance album sounds great in concept, but the half measured house beats and lackluster songwriting keep it from really popping off. In his review, Alexis Petridis of The Guardian states, the Canadian superstar's new album is surprisingly full of house music, but his passive aggressive complaints get dull. NME critic um, um, Keanu Williams said, the Canadians' latest release surprises in many ways, ditching bland trap for house beats and some daring, if somewhat mixed vocal takes. In a more negative review, David Smith of the Evening Standard opined that Honestly Nevermind felt like a minor work within Drake's discography, going to say that Drake sounds like he isn't trying very hard. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I can't really agree with that. I can't really agree with that shit though, man. Honestly, Nevermind debuted at number one on the U.S. Billboard 200 with 204,000 album equivalent units, including 11,000 pure album sales. Its tracks earned a total of 250.23 million on demand streams. The album is Drake's 11th number one album in the U.S. In the second week, the album remained in the top 10 and fell to number three, earning 73,000 album equivalent units. And the track listing goes like this. So this is the intro, falling back, text go green, currents, a keeper, calling my name, sticky, massive, flights booked, overdrive, downhill, tide that binds, liability, Jimmy Cooks, featuring 21 Savage. All right, so let's see. All right, charts. All right, now we go to the charts for 2022. Australian albums is in the peak position of two Austrian albums, two Belgian albums, aka Ultra Top Flanders. Oh shit. Four and Belgian albums Ultra Wallonia 2. Canadian albums Billboard 1. Czech albums 11. Danish albums 2. Dutch albums 1. Finnish albums 3. French albums 6. German albums 3. Irish albums 2. Italian albums 6. Japanese hot albums Billboard Japan 87. Lithuanian albums 3, New Zealand albums 1, Norwegian albums 2, Spanish albums 6, Swedish albums 2, Swiss albums 1, UK albums 2, UK dance albums 1, US Billboard 200 1, US top dance electronic albums 1, US top R&B hip hop albums 1. Chorus obviously, yeah, and also I think need to get into this right here. So yeah, so Drake's new dance album, honestly, Nevermind, was in rotation across the world this weekend and has been quite polarizing. Some people love it, while the other side of the spectrum appears to be confused as to why Drake made it. Then there are some like Drake himself who argue those don't like it just don't get it. You can find J. Cole on the support side. Um, Cole hit Instagram and shared a screenshot of the song Liability and revealed, "Man, this album is phenomenal, point blank." Last month, Drake and J. Cole put fans on alert as they were spotted filming a music video together. Videos leaked online showing Drizzy um, creating a new music video on the set was Cole, but some fans questioned if he is just a guest. Last year, J. Cole jacked Drake's pipe down for a single called Heaven's EP, which you can hear below. Um, yeah. And all right, so we're gonna get into all right, let's get into another segment right here. Um yeah, let's get into another segment called Video Game Chamber. It's basically let me just set this premise up here for the new people that's listening and watching on YouTube right now. Now, it is a segment in regards to the video gaming community, and we and I and it's like a vault of video games to review. So this is basically what the rundown of this segment is. So this is the video game chamber. So welcome to the video game chamber, folks. All right, in this segment right here, we're gonna go over this game called Super Mario Sunshine, and it is a 2002 platform game developed and published by Nintendo for the GameCube. It is the second 3D game in the Super Mario series, following Super Mario 64, 1996. The game was directed by Yoshiaki um, Kozumi and Kenta Yusi, produced by series creators Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, written by Makoto Wada and scored by Koji Kondo and Shinobu Tanaka. All right. And this was released July 1920, 2002. North America, it arrived August 26, 2002. In Europe, October 4th, 2002. In Australia, October 11, 2002. And it is a platform action adventure single player, of course. The game takes place on the tropical isle Delfino, where Mario, Toadsworth, Princess Peach, and Five Toads are taking a vacation. A villain resembling Mario, known as Shadow Mario, vandalizes the island with graffiti and leaves Mario to be wrongfully convicted for the mess. Mario is ordered to clean up Isle Delfino using a device called the Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dousing Device, while saving Princess Peach from Shadow Mario. Super Mario Sunshine received critical acclaim, with reviewers praising the game's graphics, gameplay, story, soundtrack, and the addition of Flood as a mechanic. Though some criticize the game's camera and Flood's gimmicky nature. The game sold over 5 million copies worldwide by 2006, making it one of the best-selling GameCube games. The game was re-released as a part of the Player's Choice brand in 2003. Nintendo EPD re-released it alongside Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy and the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection for the Nintendo Switch in 2020. The gameplay goes like this. Super Mario Sunshine shares many similar gameplay elements with its predecessor, Super Mario 64, while introducing various new gameplay features. Player control Mario as he tries to obtain 120 shine sprites in order to bring light to Isle Delfino and prove his innocence after Bowser Jr. Of course, disguised as Mario, steals the shine sprites and covers the island in toxic slime. Yeah, that sucks too, man. Toxic slime, that really sucks right there, man. You know what I mean? That has to suck. Yeah, toxic slime, man. That's crazy. Yes. Players start off in the hub world of Delfino Plaza and access various worlds via portals, which become available as the game progresses. Similar to collecting stars in Super Mario 64, players obtain shine sprites by clearing a selected mission with a specific objective. Unlike its predecessors, these missions have a more strictly linear um, order, and most other mission shine sprites cannot be collected until the previous missions are completed. There are also various hidden areas and challenges across Isle Delfino where more shine sprites can be attained. Throughout the game, players may also find blue coins hidden across the island, which can be exchanged for more shine sprites in the boathouse. Yeah, boathouse at Delfino Plaza. In the game, Mario is joined by a robotic backpack named Flood, which stands for Flash Liquidizing Ultra Dousing Device, which uses the power of water to clean away goop and help Mario reach new places. Mario starts with two default nozzles for Flood, Squirt, and Hover, which he can quickly switch between. The Squirt nozzle lets Mario spray a stream of water which he can use, to clean sludge, attack enemies, and activate certain mechanisms. The hover nozzle lets Mario hover in the air for a short period of time, allowing him to cross large gaps while simultaneously spraying things directly below him. As the game progresses, Mario unlocks two additional nozzles for Flood, which can be substituted with the hover nozzle. Um, the rocket nozzle, which shoots Mario high up into the air, and the turbo nozzle, which moves Mario at high speeds, allowing him to run across water and break into certain areas. Each of Flood's nozzles use water from its reserves, which can be refilled via water sources such as rivers or fountains. There are also various secret courses where Flood is taken away from Mario, forcing him to rely on his natural platforming abilities. Unlike Super Mario 64, Mario can no longer long jump. He can instead perform a spin jump by twirling an analog stick and jumping a line Mario to jump higher and further. Mario can also now perform dives at any time, giving Mario the ability to slide quickly across wet surfaces and serve as another alternative to the long jump. At certain points in the game, Mario may come across an egg which hatches into a Yoshi after being brought a fruit he asked for. Yoshi can be ridden upon and can attack by spitting juice, which can clear certain obstacles that water cannot. Yoshi can also use his tongue to eat enemies or other pieces of fruit, which change his color depending on the type of fruit. Yoshi will disappear if he runs out of juice or falls into the water. Juice can be replenished by eating more fruit. Um, should I go to? Yeah, I'm not gonna go into the plot, man. I'm not gonna go into the plot. So we're gonna go into the reception. So aggregator, Metacritic gives it 92 out of 100. OneUp.com gives it 4.5 stars. No, hold on. No, OneUp.com gives it an A. All Game gives it 4.5 stars. CVG gives it 10 out of 10. Edge gives it 9 out of 10. EGM gives it 9.5 out of 10. Eurogamer gives it 9 out of 10. Famitsu gives it 37 out of 40. Game Informer gives it 9.75 out of 10. GameSpot gives it 8 out of 10. GameSpy gives it 10 stars. Games Radar Plus 10.5 stars. IGN 9.4 out of 10. Nintendo Life gives it 9 out of 10. And Nintendo Power gives it 10 out of 10. Mario Sunshine was critically acclaimed by game critics. IGN praised the addition of the water backpack for improving gameplay. And GameSpot commented on the wide variety of moves and the beautifully constructed environments. The game received a perfect score from Nintendo Power, who commended the superb graphics, excellent music, clever layouts, funny cinema scenes, and ingenious puzzles. Mario Sunshine won GameSpot's annual Best Performer on GameCube award. GamePro gave it a perfect score, stating that the game was a masterpiece of superior game design, infinite gameplay variety, creativity, and life. The American-based publication Game Informer said that the game is arguably the best Mario game to date. Computer and video games also mentioned the game is better than Super Mario 64. The game placed 46th in official Nintendo magazine's 100 greatest Nintendo games of all time. All Game gave a lower review, stating that during the 6 year span between Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, platform games have become more epic, more interactive, and prettier. Yet the core element of collecting items in a world divided into subsections has been left unchanged. So it comes with a modicum of disappointment that Super Mario Sunshine doesn't shake up the genre with a number of new and fresh ideas other than the usual enhancements expected from a sequel. Some reviewers were critical towards certain aspects of the game. GameSpot's Jeff Gersman criticized the various additions, including Flood and Yoshi, calling them mere gimmicks. He also complained about the camera system. Gertzman said that the game seemed somewhat unpolished and rushed, a sentiment shared by Matt Wales of Computer and Video Games. GameSpot named it 2002's most disappointing GameCube game. Um, in Japan, more than 400,000 copies of Super Mario Sunshine were sold within 4 days. In the United States, more than 350,000 copies were sold within its first 10 days of release, surpassing launch sales of the PlayStation 2's Grand Theft Auto 3, the Xbox's Halo, and the Nintendo 64's Super Mario 64, and boosting hardware sales of the GameCube. In Europe, 175,000 units were sold within a week of its release. In Japan, 624,240 units had been sold by October 2002. In 2002, Super Mario Sunshine was the 10th best-selling game in the United States according to the NPD Group. It was re-released in 2003 as part of the Player's Choice line, a selection of games with high sales sold for a reduced price. By July 2006, 2.5 million copies were sold for $85 million in the United States alone. Next Generation ranked it as the ninth highest selling game launch for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, or GameCube between January 2000 and July 2006 in that country. By June 2006, over 5.5 million copies had been sold worldwide, despite strong sales numbers. Satoru Iwata confirmed at E3 2003 that the game sales um, have failed to live up to the company's expectations. Let's see. Expectations, huh? Right. The expectations, huh? Yeah. Yeah, expectations, huh? Let's see. Let's see. Um, expectations, huh? Let's see. Yeah, give me 1 second, folks. Um, hold on. There was um okay. Hold on. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, let's go over the new Super Mario Brothers. Okay, the new Super Mario Brothers is a platform video game in the new Super Mario Brothers series developed by Nintendo for the Nintendo DS. It was first released in May 2006 in North America and Japan in PAL regions the following month. It is a part of the new Super Mario Brothers sub-series of the Super Mario franchise and follows Mario as he fights his way through Bowser's henchmen to rescue Princess Peach. Mario has access to several power ups that help him complete his quest, including the Super Mushroom and the Fire, no, the Fire Flower and the Superstar, each giving him unique abilities while traveling through 8 worlds with a total of 80 levels. Um, Mario must defeat Bowser Jr. and Bowser before saving the princess Peach. And this was released May 15th, 2006 in North America, Japan May 25th, 2006, Australia June 8th, 2006, and Europe June 30th, 2006. And New Super Mario Brothers was commercially successful and received positive reviews. Praise went towards its improvements made to the Mario franchise and faithfulness to older Mario games, while criticism was targeted at its low difficulty level, and many critics noted its similarity to previous games. It sold over 30 million copies worldwide, making it the best selling game for the Nintendo DS and one of the best selling video games of all time. The game's success led to a line of sequels released for the Wii, Nintendo 3DS, and Wii U. Now we go to the gameplay. Now we go to the gameplay. So the new Super Mario Brothers is a side-scrolling video game. While it is seen to it is seen in 2D, most of the characters and objects are 3D polygonal renderings on two backgrounds, resulting in a 2.5D effect that visually simulates 3D computer graphics. The player can play as either Mario or younger brother Luigi. Similar to previous Mario games, Mario or Luigi can jump, crouch, collect coins, stomp on enemies, and break open blocks. Moves from 3D Mario games reappear in new Super Mario Brothers, including the ground pound, triple jump, and wall jump. Enemies from previous games, such as Boos, are also reintroduced. 10 levels are available in each of 8 worlds, which are shown in the Nintendo DS's bottom touchscreen. While viewing the world map, the map of the currently selected world appears in the top screen, which is used to navigate between the world's levels. The goal of each level is to reach a black flag at the end of the level. At the end of each world, a boss must be defeated before proceeding to the next world. There are 6 power-ups available in New Super Mario Brothers. The game allows the player to store an extra power-up when he is already using one. A feature carried over the Super Mario World. 3 power-ups from Super Mario Brothers return. The Super Mushroom makes Mario grow in size. The Fire Flower lets Mario throw fireballs. The Starman makes Mario temporarily invincible. 3 more power-ups are introduced in new Super Mario Brothers. The Blue Koopa shell lets Mario throw into a shell to protect himself and perform a shell dash attack.
He also swims faster when in this form. The Mega Mushroom grows Mario into an incredible size where he can destroy everything in his path, and the Mini Mushroom causes Mario to shrink, allowing him to enter tiny passageways. Mini Mario is so light that he can run on water and jump extremely high. The game's multiplayer mode pits two players against each other as they play as Mario and Luigi in one of the five stages, trying to be the first to obtain a preset number of stars. Both players can attack each other in attempts to steal the other player's stars. Jumping on the opponent's character will make them lose one star, while performing a ground pound will lose them three. In addition, some mini games previously available in Super Mario 64 DS have returned and now offer multiplayer options for added replay value. The mini games are divided into four categories: action, puzzle, table, and variety. New Super Mario Brothers contain 18 mini games for single players and 10 mini games for multiplayers. All right, set reception. Metacritic gives it 89 out of 100. OneUp.com gives it a B plus. Hang on a second. Hold on a minute. Yes, CVG gives it 9 out of 10. Edge gives it 8 out of 10. Eurogamer gives it 9 out of 10. Game Informer gives it 9.25 out of 10. Game Pro gives it 5.5 stars. Game Revolution gives it B plus. GameSpot gives it 9 out of 10. GameSpy gives it 5 stars. Games Radar Plus gives it 5.5 stars. Game Zone gives it 9.3 out of 10. IGN gives it 9.5 out of 10. Nintendo Life gives it what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stars. XPlay gives it 4 stars. All right. Let me see. I'm not gonna really get into all that. Let's see. Yes, New Super Mario Brothers was released by Nintendo in North America on May 15, 2006, in Japan on May 25th, 2006, and in Europe on June 30th, 2006. Nintendo did not specify why it chose to delay the game's release in its home market of Japan by 10 days, but GameSpot noted that it stands to reason that the company simply wants a few more days to build inventory. In Japan, over 480,000 units of new Super Mario Brothers were sold on the day it was released, and 900,000 copies in the first 4 days. At the time, it was the best-selling debut for a Nintendo DS game in Japan, but it has since been surpassed by Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. It is Japan's 26th best-selling game in 2008. In the United States, 500,000 copies of New Super Mario Brothers were sold in the first 35 days, and 1 million copies were sold 12 weeks after its release. Worldwide sales have steadily increased throughout the years, with 5 million copies by April 2008, 18 million by March 2009, and 30.8 million by March 2016, making it the best-selling game for the Nintendo DS and one of the best-selling video games of all time. The game received positive reviews from critics, with several calling the new Super Mario Bros. One of the best games available for Nintendo DS. GameZone believed that it was the hot game to purchase for any DS owner, noting that its huge exploration potential and reinvention of the platform game genre. The Bramwell of Eurogamer stated, "I've done this sort of thing before, hundreds of times across thousands of days. In what feels like a dozen Mario games, I still love it, believing that experienced players would require very little time to complete the game." GameSpot nevertheless considered New Super Mario Brothers a completely awesome game that was an absolutely necessary video game to own. Um, Games Radar considered the game a bargain, noting that it included a completely solid solo game, a simple but exciting two-player, and then a collection of super quick stylus games. Hang on a second here. Um, Hang on a minute here. Let me see how much time. All right. Yeah. Several reviewers drew comparison between New Super Mario Brothers and their favorite Mario games. Although some found that other Mario games were better, most reviewers were still pleased with the overall experience of the game. Some fans, however, criticized the game for its low difficulty compared to other Mario games. Craig Harris of IGN was enthused with New Super Mario Brothers, stating that it was his new favorite platform game, beating out his previous favorite Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Um, Even though Super Mario World and Super Mario Brothers 3 were considered the best 2D games, Mario games by Game Pros, Mr. Marbles, he decided to add New Super Mario Brothers as his third favorite Mario game, which he admitted had much more replay value than the other two. Though the game introduces new features such as a versus mode, Game Revolution disconnectedly asked the question, can Mario ever truly be new again? It also disappointed Greg Stewart of XPlay, who found that the game did not live up to the standards set by its predecessors, but still considered the game the best side scrolling video game available for the Nintendo DS. The game's graphics and audio received praise in a number of reviews. The Computer and Video Games magazine was entertained by the finely crafted slice of Mario, along with the extra mini games offered. They believed that the audio was very good for a Nintendo DS game, predicting that it still scare the pants off the hard of hearing. Though being a 2D game, GameSpot still found that the 2D and 3D elements blended together perfectly in New Super Mario Brothers. The game's overall experience pleased OneUp.com, which applauded Nintendo's ability to once again create enjoyable, solid, and challenging portable experience. However, they were disappointed in the lack of imagination for this remake. And New Super Mario Bros. Received numerous awards and accolades. It was given Game of the Month awards from Game Informer and Electronic Gaming Monthly, and it received Editor's Choice Awards from IGN and GameSpot. The game was voted best handheld game at the 2006 Spike Video Game Awards, best Nintendo DS game by GameSpot, and it won best platform awards from XPlay and Nintendo Power. The game was awarded Choice Video Game at the 2016 Choice Awards and Nintendo Game of the Year at the 2006 Golden Joystick Awards. Um, yeah. So there's the sequel. There's the sequel to so New Super Mario Brothers. A successor to New Super Mario Brothers was internationally for the Wii on November 12th, 2009. It features similar gameplay to its predecessor with several of the same power ups returning as well as brand new ones. The game is the first Super Mario game to feature cooperative gameplay for up to four people. A direct sequel, New Super Mario Brothers 2, was released for the Nintendo 3DS on July 28th, 2012. New Super Mario Brothers U was released as a launch title for the Wii U on November 18th, 2012, and a deluxe version of the Nintendo Switch on January 11th, 2019. All right. All right. Hang on a minute. All right. So let's do the sequel. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is a 2D side-scrolling platform video game in the New Super Mario Bros. Series, developed by Nintendo EAD Group Number 4 and published by Nintendo for its Nintendo 3DS handheld video game console, and was released on July 12th, 28th, 2012. It is the third game in the series and is a direct sequel to the 2006 Nintendo DS game New Super Mario Bros. And a follow up to the 2009 Wii game New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Uh, it is the first Nintendo published game to be re-released simultaneously in both downloadable and physical forms. And of course, the game's plot is similar to its predecessors, focusing on Mario and Luigi's efforts to rescue Princess Peach from Bowser and the Koopalings. It has a heavier emphasis on coin collecting than other Super Mario games, with multiple unique items dedicated to producing large numbers of coins. The game features a specialized mode called Coin Rush that focuses exclusively on quickly completing a series of stages while collecting as many coins as possible. Additional Coin Rush um, were made available for purchase as downloadable content shortly after the game's release. New Super Mario Bros. 2 spans 9 worlds consisting of 6 main worlds and 3 special worlds. Those worlds total 81 complete levels, many of which have multiple exits to unlock more areas of the genre to play and explore. New Super Mario Brothers received generally positive reviews. Critics generally praised its level design, gameplay, and graphics, but criticized its low difficulty and similarity to the earlier New Super Mario Brothers games. New Super Mario Brothers 2 is the fifth best-selling game for the Nintendo 3DS, with 13.40 million copies sold worldwide as of March 31st, 2012. Uh, a follow up to the game and a sequel to New Super Mario Brothers, we titled New Super Mario Brothers U, was released as a launch title for the Wii U on November 18th, 2012. Okay, the gameplay. Like its previous installments in the New Super Mario Brothers series, it is a 2D platformer, and some of the characters and objects are 3D poly polygonal renderings on 2D backgrounds. This results in a 2.5D effect that visually simulates 3D computer graphics. New Super Mario Bros. 2 continues the style of gameplay from New Super Mario Bros., featuring side-scrolling platform action as Mario or Luigi attempt to rescue Princess Peach from Bowser and his Koopalings. Power-ups include the Mini Mushroom and the Mega Mushroom, returning from the first game, and the Super Leaf from Super Mario Brothers 3, which allows a player to tail whip enemies or to fly. Similarly to um, Super Mario 3D Land, an invincibility leaf will appear if the player loses at least 5 lives during any non-canon levels. The invincibility leaf grants both raccoon abilities and invincibility until the end of the stage. The story has both single player and multiplayer options. 2 players each with their own Nintendo 3Ds and copy of the game to play together simultaneously as Mario and Luigi. Like the previous games, players can collect star coins hidden throughout each level, which can be spent to unlock new areas on the overworld map. The game has a strong emphasis on collecting gold coins with various new items dedicated to producing large numbers of coins. These include gold flowers that turn blocks into coins, rings that temporarily turn enemies gold, and a block mass that produces coins as Mario runs. All coins collected are totaled on the title screen and on the overworld map. If the player has Spot Pass enabled in the game, this total can be uploaded to Nintendo Network, and the player will be updated with the grand total of all coins collected by all players worldwide. Um, in addition to the main game, Super Mario Brothers 2 features a gold coin, excuse me, coin rush mode made accessible at the player completes the first world. In Coin Rush, the player plays through three randomly chosen levels, collecting as many coins as possible. Star and Moon coins add several coins to the player's running total in this mode. However, the player is given one life, and each level gives a time limit of 50 or 100 seconds. The one up mushrooms are replaced by gold mushrooms in this mode. If checkpoint flags are passed or timers are collected, the time limit will be extended. Getting to the top of the ending flag causes the number of coins gained in a level to double. Yeah. Um, if the player completes the run, the accumulated total of coins collected can be saved as the player's high score, which can be transmitted to and challenged by other players via Street Pass. Um, Additional course packs can be purchased as downloadable content, and of course, obviously, yeah. So in 2010, Shigeru Miyamoto stated that both side-scrolling and 3D Mario games were in development for Nintendo 3DS. Following the release of Super Mario 3D Land, the untitled 2D Super Mario game was announced during a meeting of investors by the president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, in late January 2012. He described it as a totally new side-scrolling action Super Mario in 2D as a key title for the Nintendo 3ds. Nintendo planned to release the game in the next fiscal year, which started in April 2012 and ended in March 2013. It was subsequently announced to be released on August 17th, 2012 in Europe and in August 19th, 2012 in North America. And obviously, the game was announced as New Super Mario Brothers 2, a direct sequel to 2006 Super Mario Brothers during uh, a Nintendo Direct conference on April 21st, 2012, with tentative release dates in Japan, North America, Europe, and Australia in August 2012. Nintendo stated New Super Mario Brothers 2 was created specifically as a pickup and play experience, accommodating players of all skill levels. It was the first retail 3Ds game to also be released as a download on the Nintendo eShop on the day of its release. The first three packs of courses for Coin Rush mode was released as downloadable content in Japan and Europe on October 2nd, 2012, followed by North America on October 4th, 2012. Six more packs were released. The second and third set of two packs was released worldwide on October 25th, 2012 and December 5th, 2012 respectively, and the last set of two was released on December 20th, 2012 in North America and Europe, and on December 21st, 2012 in Japan. The final gold classic pack was released on November 27, 2012 to celebrate the 300 billion coin milestone and was available to download for free until the end of January 2013. In 2014, an updated version featuring all the DLC pre-installed was released. The new Super Mario Brothers 2 Gold Edition. This version was available exclusively at Walmart for Black Friday 2014 as part of a limited edition Nintendo 3DS XL bundle. The game's soundtrack was composed by Mario Kart veteran Kenta Nagata, though most is based on New Super Mario Bros. Wii, composed by Shiho Fuji, Ryo Nagama, Nag- Nagamatsu, and Kenta Nagata. Here we go. All right, so Game Rankings gives it 78.40%. Metacritic gives it 78 out of 100. OneUp.com gives it a B. CVG gives it 8 out of 10. Destructoid gives it 7 out of 10. EGM gives it 9 out of 10. Famitsu gives it 36 out of 40. G4 gives it 4 out of 5. GameSpot gives it 7 out of 10. IGN gives it 8.5 out of 10. Nintendo Life gives it 9 stars. ONM gives it 90%. Polygon gives it 7 out of 10. Forbes gives it 8 out of 10. Okay. And New Super Mario Bros. 2 has received generally positive reviews. It holds an aggregated score of 78.40% on Game Rankings, 78 out of 100 on Metacritic. The game was given a 36 out of 40 by Famitsu with a 9 from each of the 4 reviewers. Electronic Gaming Monthly gave the game a 9 out of 10, stating this platforming perfection is what makes Mario games so fun. And in that regard, New Super Mario Bros. 2 definitely succeeds with its own share of secrets, collectibles, and branching pathways that can be unlocked depending on how you should advance through the game. Nintendo Life gave the game 9 out of 10 stars, saying its immense fun boosts brilliant level design and offers enough repeat play appeal to give you glued to your 3Ds system for weeks. Official Nintendo magazine gave the game 90% out of 100, heavily criticizing the game for its 3D effects and lack of progression in the Super Mario series, summarizing that New Super Mario Bros. 2 is the very definition of bittersweet, given with one hand and then taken away with the other. Um, by default, it's the best side-scrolling platformer on the 3Ds, and yes, it's even better than the original New Super Mario Brothers. But that came out 6 years ago now, and in that time, we really expected the series to have progressed a little further than just a 3D effect and coin rush mode. And Tom Sykes of Nintendo Gamer gave the game 80 out of 100, praising the new features but criticizing it for being too similar to its predecessors. This is a great 2D platformer, but it's lacking the vital creative spark that turns a great 2D platformer into a classic one. We've come to expect more than straight sequels from mainline Mario games, and until this generation, we hadn't truly been offered one. That's a definite disappointment. But on the upside, more NSMB is is hardly a bad thing. With its obsessive focus on coin collecting, NSMB2 um, does a few things differently to its predecessor, but not enough to stand tall as its own game. It's a fun companion piece to the original DS game, however, and one that's likely to reside in your 3Ds for quite some time. As of March 2022, 13.40 million copies of New Super Mario Bros. 2 have been sold worldwide. New Super Mario Bros. 2 was nominated for Best Handheld Game at Spike's 10th Annual Video Game Awards. All right, let me see how much time we got here. All right, all right. Let's go to yeah, let me get to the story real quick, man. Let me get to the story real quick. Um, all right, so the Sonic the Hedgehog film franchise will be giving a dedicated fan base the chance to see some of their favorite characters on the big screen for the first time, based on the standard of quality set in the first film and the glimpse of the second. Fans know they'll look great, but how will they sound? One of the most beloved characters in Sonic's massive catalog of sapient woodland creatures is the iconic edgy anti-hero um, Shadow the Hedgehog. Known as the ultimate life form, Shadow seeks to understand his origins. Shadow first appeared in 2001's Sonic Adventure 2 as both antagonist and playable character, both starring in his own self-titled outing in 2005. Since then, he has remained a complex figure throughout the franchise, serving as a dark mirror to Sonic, who occasionally joins with the heroes to save the world. Um, let's see. There are essentially two ways to portray Shadow: 100% sincere dark anti hero, or a parody of the concept trying way too hard to be cool. Either way, Shadow is an important character to the Sonic canon, and his storyline is a fan favorite. So if the movies continue, he's likely to make a much larger impact upon them. Kurt Thornton is an accomplished voice actor who has portrayed such characters as Jun in Samurai Champ Lu, um, Syx in Kingdom Hearts, and since 2010, Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, typically, it would be out of the question to cast the in-game voice actor for the big budget Hollywood update, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2 just broke that tradition by casting Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails. Um, with that in mind, um, Thornton could reprise his role as Shadow for the 18th time in just over a decade. Thornton brings a genuine level of intimidation to Shadow that is often missing. Thornton portrayed Shadow in the Sonic Boom animated series, wherein he was essentially the serious character in a silly comedy show. Though it's a long shot, Kirk Thornton is a tried and true performer who gave Shadow the voice fans fell in love with over the past decade. So he's the easiest choice for the role in the films. Pedro Pascal, this star of The Mandalorian, is known for his portrayal of a taxi turned cold blooded, gun toting, intimidating loner, all of which makes him a perfect candidate for Shadow. Pascal is extremely popular for numerous performances, including the aforementioned title role in The Mandalorian and Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones. Pascal can sell an anti hero effortlessly, but he is also extremely charming, meaning he could take the character in a variety of directions. The biggest drawback of Pascal taking over this particular character would be the risk of making Shadow too likable, but that could be subverted by making him more comical than his source material. The character is often marked for the tone of his portrayal, having a very funny performer like Pascal take the role of Shadow would bring more fun to the role. Keanu Reeves, social media explosion after Idris Elba announced his casting as Knuckles, nearly drowned out excitement for the movie itself. Casting the star behind Neo and John Wick to play the ultimate life form would have that effect all over again. Keanu Reeves is a great actor and his career is deeply varied and prolific. A modern film take on Shadow would essentially be a PG talking animal version of John Wick, often complete with real guns, so why not get the man himself to take the role? Keanu Reeves' best known voice acting role is probably Johnny Silverland in Cyberpunk 2077. Another role that conveys a particularly teenage depiction of cool. Reeves could make Shadow as cool as the most devoted fans see him, standing out as a sincere, grim anti-hero in a fun comedic world. Will Arnett, um, obviously, this casting choice would be based almost entirely on the strength of Arnett's Batman in the Lego Batman movie, and he's also in the Lego Masters TV show on Fox that's coming out in the fall. If the Sonic film universe decides that Shadow would should carry a comedic edge, Arnett is the perfect candidate. Shadow is a character who is defined by his unshakable self-confidence, unironically proclaiming "I'm the coolest" in the middle of the fight. Arnett's brand is characters who swagger through life without ever questioning themselves, and his performance as an aggressively self-reliant, arrogant Batman cements that role. A take on Shadow that is blissfully free from self-awareness would be hilarious for most, and probably still idolized by some. Arnett would be the ideal casting choice to allow Shadow to blend into the action comedy world of the films. James McAvoy, um, starring in everything from Narnia to Atonement to Wanted to Sherlock Holmes, McAvoy has one of the most varied careers in the industry. With that kind of pedigree, it's tough to find a role McAvoy's talents would fail. His multifaceted role in Split and Glass shows off some fun range that conveys a real willingness to play with anything he's given. Though Shadow has been voiced by a number of performers, his voice has always been similar. McAvoy's closest performance actually comes from the audiobook presentation of Neil Gaiman's Sandman, in which he portrayed Dream. McAvoy is a great choice for the role due to his seamless ability to shine anywhere, his excellent voice, and his sheer charisma. John Bertho. No version of this list could have ever been complete without the Punisher himself, John Bertho, in the running. Anyone who has stumbled across the social media um, reaction to the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Shadow the Hedgehog review has seen two names drift to the top of the running. The first is Keanu Reeves, the second is John Bertho. There's almost too much in common between Bertho's most popular characters and the way that Shadow has been portrayed over the years. Bertho is a gifted actor who has starred in massive media properties such as The Walking Dead, Baby Driver, and Fury, as well as passion. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Um, all right, where was I? Where was I? Yeah. Um, John Bertha. Ebert. Yeah. Bertho is a get there actor who has starred in massive media properties such as The Walking Dead, Baby Driver, and Fury, as well as the passion projects like Small Engine Repair. He's performed some solid voice performances in video games like Ghost Recon, Breakpoint. His role as Frank Castle is obviously the best comparison point to Shadow. Fans can probably hear Bertho's naturally intense and intimidating voice in the role, with his trademark roar bringing an extreme quality to the kids' movie. The best possible use of Bertho's talents would be in a Shadow the Hedgehog solo project, allowing him to take on the role of gun-toting anti-hero, as he is well known for doing. Bertho is a self-evidently stellar choice for a serious take on Shadow the Hedgehog, and he'd be a revelation against Idris Elba's Knuckles. Jamie Foxx. Now here's an actor who could find the perfect middle ground between a straight and a silly performance as Shadow the Hedgehog. Fox is a naturally hilarious performer with an easy charisma that makes him entertaining, even in his less stellar projects and roles. Fox has been prominent in the industry for a long time, and his chops as a compelling action figure and a hilarious comedic force are well established. Though Fox doesn't have a ton of voiceover performances under his belt, he does have one of the most distinct voices in Hollywood. His role as the eponymous Django in Django Unchained features his voice at its most growly, and intimidating. His role as Bats in Baby Driver remains scary, while also letting him play around with some sillier tendencies. Perhaps most impressively, his role as Dean M.F. Jones in the Horrible Bosses films provides a perfect faux intimidating performance that devolves into comedy. A kid-friendly version of Fox as Jones could be middle ground could be the perfect middle ground between the two versions of Shadow the Hedgehog. Fox would be perfect in any version of the role. So remains to be seen. We'll see what happens. If I hear any updates, the third movie of the Sonic the Hedgehog is not going to come out till like 2024, which is 2 years from now. So um, by then I should actually hear any new information about it. If I hear about it, I'll actually bring it to you. Um, now we go to some upcoming games that's coming up. What's today? What's today? The 24th? No, what's today? 22nd. Actually, all right. Let's see. Actually, 26th. Yeah. All right. So I already did I already did July. Let's do August. So upcoming games that's coming out in August. South of the Circle for PlayStation 5, X Xbox Series. That's what X/S stands for, folks. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC August 3rd. Turbo Golf Racing for Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC August 4th. Dimecia, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC August 9th. 2 Point Campus, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC August 9th. Um, Lost in Play for Nintendo Switch and PC comes out August the 10th. Cult of the Lamb, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Switch by Nintendo, and PC August 11th. Also coming out August 11th is Rumbleverse for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Marvel Spider-Man for PC August 12th. Um, Blossom Tales 2, the Minotaur Prince for Nintendo Switch, PC August 16th. Roller Rollerdrome for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, PC August 16th. Um, Curse to Golf, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC August 18th. RPG Time, The Legend of Right for Nintendo Switch, August 18th. All right, I'm gonna handle the rest in the next episode and future episodes. I'm gonna stop right here. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna stop right here. Actually, though, man. And listen. I hope everyone is enjoying themselves, enjoying this episode whatsoever. I hope everybody out there is actually keeping cool, staying hydrated, and of course being whether it's a swimming pool, whether it's an air conditioner like I'm doing right now. Um and I know this heat wave is not going to be over until Tuesday of next week. So that's pretty much of a long time. So that's like what? That's like 3 days. 3 days left. So you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I may have to go out to work in the 95-degree weather. But hopefully, I don't have to be out there all. I don't have to be out there too much to collect these cards. So hopefully, I'll be able to be in the store with the air conditioner. So we'll see what's going down with that one right there. Um. So yeah. Um. Yeah, let's go to a little thing that I like to call the podcast free game mechanism segment right here. Um Let me just get the chimes real quick. Yes, for those of you that are interested in making a podcast like I'm doing right now with 3 shows underneath of my belt, um I got y'all. So what you need is some key equipments that you need to start a podcast. First and foremost, you need headphones. You also need a microphone. It doesn't have to be anything too expensive. It could be anything that's like a Yeti microphone. It could be a an Alvoxcon A800 model that I'm using right now. You can find microphones in Best Buy. You can find it in Target, Walmart. Actually, Amazon and Walmart. So there you go, right there. And if you have a unique name for your podcast, the name of it and stuff, even if certain people might not understand it, don't worry about that though, man. It's not about them; it's about you. And of course, you need a supporting software, which is where I segue to StreamYard. StreamYard is the software that I use to actually um, gather by adding the YouTube channels. So you can use YouTube, you can use Facebook, you can use Twitch, and you can use LinkedIn. I don't personally use LinkedIn because I don't know too many people that use that shit anyway. So and it allows you to invite 6 people in the free version. The upgraded version allows you to add more than 6, which means you have to pay. So I would go with the free version. because it saves you some money. Because you already have your phone bill, you have your cable bill, and you have other bills that you got to take care of as well. So there you go, right there. Actually, let me just say this though, man. As as content creators of creating episodes on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, you what's important is to have confidence in what you're doing and behind the microphone. You also have to find your voice and what gets you into your zone with tunnel vision, the consistency, um, the energy that you have to focus in to creating podcast episodes on a weekly basis, like I'm doing and stuff. So I'm trying to get back into my podcasting schedule, rhythm and stuff like that, with everything going on with my work schedule. That I'm working on Saturdays. I'm trying to record on a Friday, occasionally. And if I don't have any Saturdays off, I may have to record an episode on Fridays as well. So don't worry about that as well. Um, so anyway, man, yeah, you need to find something that makes you need to find something that actually makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's what really matters here, man. So there you go, right there, man. And I'm going to remind y'all at the end of the show about confidence. All right, so there you go. That was your podcast free game mechanism segment. And if you have any questions on how to start a podcast, I got you. You can DM me on Instagram. So I will gladly be able to go to um the last segment of the night, which is stream choices on the go. Let's go. You can follow Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, the review show, on Instagram, alongside with my other shows, Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the review show, and you can actually make sure to follow my number one show, with 166 episodes already in the books, which is Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast right there. So there you go, right there. And you can follow me on the gram, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. You can DM me a question on how to start a podcast, whatever topic ideas you have or whatever. As a matter of fact, okay, make sure you turn your notifications. You could leave your question in the DM or whatever, or you can go to the link in bio where it says Linktree/Meticulous Vouchers Podcast. You can go to the Anchor.fm page, and the show is going to be there. And when you click on the link in bio, you're gonna see the name of the show. You click on there, and you're gonna see the word message on there next to the button that says listen on Spotify and more platforms. All right, you click on there. You're gonna leave your voice message on there, and I will gladly read it on the air. So there you go, right there. Um, and speaking of being on the air, right? Um, I am going to go over the I am going to go over the streaming platforms on the go, which includes Anchor, Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM, Podcast Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcast, and of course, you can listen to Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast Review Show on Radio Public and alongside with iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcasts. All right, and make sure you follow my other two shows: Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the review show. No, excuse me, the Sports Edition show. Um, yes, Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the Sports Edition show, and make sure you follow my other show with 166 episodes on there, so you can check out. Um, and episode 166 will be uploaded on Monday. And yeah, make sure you follow the New York podcast on iHeartRadio as well. And lastly, but not least, the YouTube. Make sure you grab that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Leave a like and a comment. Tap that notification bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. More video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. Download these episodes. Share the episodes. Share the videos, and of course, share it with your share the word. Actually, share it with your peers. Make sure you tell a friend to another friend, and make sure you listen. Make sure you stream, share, watch the episodes, catch up on all the episodes on the YouTube channel page, and along with the streaming platforms that I just mentioned. Make sure you follow the show on all audio streaming platforms. And you can share the podcast with your wives, your husbands, your boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, and the people that you're cool with. Um, that'll be appreciated. And and yeah, listen, that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me on episode 72. In today's episode, we actually went over the actors who are trying out to voice the Shadow the Hedgehog character for Sonic 3. Um, Sonic 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Which is not going to come out till like 2024, so it's going to be 2 years from now. So, if I have any information on who is going to be cast as Shadow the Hedgehog, I will bring it to you on this very platform right here. And remember, the grind does not stop. Hard work pays off. Trust the process, and be able to find what, and also be confident in what you do as far as podcasting episodes that you are creating. And yes, podcaster hosts are considered artists as well. And make sure you find what gets you into your zone when it comes to producing episodes, when it comes to creating video content on your YouTube channel pages, and of course be confident in your voice behind the microphone, which is very important right there. So yeah. So I'm out of here. I'm off this shit. I ain't going to actually watch a Mets baseball game because I'm probably not going to be able to watch it tomorrow because I'm going to work. I'm probably going to actually have it. Actually, better yet, I might just watch it tomorrow. I don't know because I still have to record my New York podcast tomorrow night anyway. So we'll see what happens and how I feel about this. So I'm out of here. G Money Stacks is clocking out. I'm off this shit. Thank you very much for listening and watching. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. Next time on Monday for episode 73. And yeah. Peace and one love. Be careful out there. Stay cool. Stay hydrated from the heat wave. Um, Electrolytes from Gatorade. Make sure you buy that as well. So you're gonna need more energy and strength. And yeah. And have yourselves a good night, folks.